Many markets that are served by more than one electric
This
company.
is generally not known. I do know that there are some cities now that do have a couple electric companies present, but I think it's breaking into this this attitude, which is sort of fixed in people's mind, that you can't have competition even in the area of utilities.
Well, there's been a lot of work done by economists in this area, and what we've seen is that rapidly changing technology is obsoleting all our ideas about regulating and about natural monopoly and about the whole utility notion. I mean, we're deregulating in telecommunications, which is a utility area. Why? Because we can't intelligently, nor should we, try to regulate conduct and performance and entry. It's simply impossible. So again, for good practical reasons, although not philosophical reasons, for good practical reasons, the government is drawing back in telecommunications. So certainly, I don't think any of these areas are naturally monopolistic. They are monopolistic only because the government impedes entry. In Connecticut, for example, we didn't get a utility commission regulating electric rates until 1916. Now, there were many, many companies selling power in the market prior to 1916, competitively. How did we get regulation? We got regulation because the leading power companies, seeing rates decline dramatically and profits deteriorate dramatically, demanded regulation, and that's where the Regulatory Commission came from. And Greg Jarrell has written an article in the Journal of Law and Economics on the origin of regulation in the electric utility industry, and this is what he finds, that the industry itself, not the consumers, demanded electric rate regulation.
Because it keeps out their competition.
Because it keeps out competition, exactly.
Well, what's happening now with the phone industry? I mean, we hear about the breakup of AT&T, which for years has had a virtual monopoly, it seems, over phone service, and the argument has been we can't have 5 or 6 telephone companies putting up lines on the street and competing, but with the advances in technology, it seems that now we can have some competition.
Remember, competition means an open market. It doesn't mean necessarily that you're going to have 2 or 30 companies competing directly against each other. It may be infeasible to have 5 telephone companies serving the same street. It depends on what consumers want. If consumers are willing to pay the cost of that kind of duplication, then there will be 5.
Mm-hmm.
Bell Telephone had a monopoly for 17 years, a government-enforced monopoly. Started way back in the 19th century, and I think it expired in 1892 or something like that. The minute those patents expired, competitors came in the market. There are 2,000 telephone companies in this country that came into the market after the Bell patents expired.
Mm-hmm.
Now, it was Bell, it was the American Telephone and Telegraph Company that said, we want franchised monopoly so that we can serve the consumer more efficiently. When at that precise time, consumers were being served more efficiently by newcomers who were coming into the market and competing away Bell's share. In fact, the newcomers in the telephone industry had more phones installed in the 10 years after the market was opened than Bell had installed